You know, I thought there was something new and it didn't work. Oh well. I guess still a few bugs to work out there, and we're waiting for Instagram also, right? Instagram's link is not working yet. All right, well, I don't know why that didn't work. Um, Start failed. Disable, enable. Well, 4 out of 5 are running, so I guess that's good enough. Okay, so it's been a while since I've been broadcasting. I used to have several different broadcasts that I would do, and haven't been doing them lately. Um, there were things going on with me and with Haps, and but I'm back now for now. Um, so my broadcasts varied from just a chat with my friend about topics usually related either to being an expatriate in Japan, or with philosophical topics, something that I'm interested in just as a layman, as you see from the title of my broadcast, Dan in Asia, because I am located in Japan, and the subtitle Layman's Philosophy, which is kind of my uh, interest. Uh, so anyway, I wanted to get back on Haps here. It's been a while. I plan to be getting back more into this in the future. So if you used to watch me and wonder what happened, well, it's just one thing or another. For a while, the game that I did, or games that I did, uh, lost audience suddenly for a while. I used to have a good number of people, anywhere from 3 or 4 up to 10 or 12 that were playing the games, and then suddenly it dropped off for whatever reasons. Um, like I said, I think there were some issues with Haps. I won't go into that now. I don't really know the details, but it was the type of game where if you don't have people uh, joining in the comments and joining the live, then it's not going to work. So uh, when that went uh, when that lost its viewers, then I kind of backed off from all my broadcasts a little bit, and I had work got busy, this, that, and the other thing. But now I want to, as I said, try and get back. Um, I'd like to make this a kind of a discussion, if I could. It, Everything has changed since I was doing this. Oh, you still can add collaborators. That's good. Okay. Um, so I'll be trying that later. Uh, but like I said, philosophy is, or just philosophical questions and things like that. Thinking about them, talking about them, sharing ideas about them is what I enjoy. Um, and I don't set out to offend anybody, but I'm also uh, not going to pull my punches, as they say, and not say what I think or feel uh, in order to avoid offending someone. I hope that people are not offended. I would never say anything with the intention of offending anyone. But I also wouldn't, back off and not say something uh, to avoid offending someone, because I don't think, basically, I don't think that anything I say should be offensive. But that's me, and I know that people are offended by different things. It's interesting to me that the whole the recent term, or to me it's recent anyway, snowflakes. So many people that are so easily offended by different things. Yeah, I definitely don't feel that I am a snowflake in any way, shape, or form, and I don't think that I am easily offended. And I hope that my listeners also are not. But like I said, I'm not going to try and say anything to be offensive, but some people might take it that way. And if they do, I'm sorry, but that's just the way I am. So philosophy. It seems to me philosophy, is basically branched off from religion. Philosophy, or as kind of a not a replacement for, a variation on, a supplement to, in some cases, uh, of religion. Uh, I mean, philosophy, and especially the branch of ethics and so on. How should people live? Um, what is good, what is right, and originally, or in one way, those questions are answered by religion, right? What is good? What God says is good, and what God says is bad, and right and wrong the same. It's all laid out by God, um, and the only question is, how do we determine, because we don't have at least most of us don't have a direct line to God to find out, is this okay, is that okay, is this good, is this bad, whatever. We spend a lot of our time trying to figure out, is this a good action, a bad action, is this right, is this wrong? Um, you know, and so people are very studious about the religious books and so on, trying to glean every bit of information that they can from those books, um, extrapolate from the time that they were written to today, when obviously things have changed, and as we know, change is taking place at an ever increasing rate. Um, the amount of information is increasing uh, at a tremendous rate. The amount of so the amount of information, so the way we look at things changes. The things that we are able to do changes, and so the rules that were laid out don't always cover the situations completely to people's satisfaction, and so they're looking for the answers and so on. My personal view is, I don't believe in a God of that personification of any God. Um, I don't deny the possibility. I don't reject the possibility of there being a God, um, but nor do I see the necessity for there being a God in anything that I see. Um, it always amused me. People, look out and say, "Well, just look out at the world, and the existence of God is obvious." And if you interpret, if your personal filter is such that that's the way it the information presents itself to you, then that's fine. But that's not a universal for all humans, obviously. Um, I myself uh, here, but like I said, religion are tied together, looking, trying to determine what is right. One of them, I think, really said it as God, what is right and wrong, what is good and evil, and so on. And our job is simply to try and discover what that is. Whereas, and a lot of philosophers also seem to have taken the line that things like good and evil, right and wrong, are out there, and we have to find them. Um, I don't follow that. I believe that there are no absolute rights and wrongs, um, which is a little scary. I think that's why we want to think that there is. It's a little scary that there is no right and wrong, so people can just do whatever they want to. Um, well, in a certain regard, I guess they can. Um, but then we think about what we really want, and as we all know, I think humans are very social animals, and social implies a number of individuals collectively, and therefore our actions, doing whatever we want, will not necessarily be completely, um, at least in one way, that will not be completely Wagamama, will not be completely selfish, uh, because we recognize the fact that we need other individuals. Uh, we want to be with other individuals, and so we have to take their well-being into consideration in order to maximize our own well-being. Um, and so uh, for those people that are atheists, which I guess I label myself as an atheist because, like I said, I don't really. Uh, anyway, let's just go on. Those that label themselves as atheists, the religious person would look at them. This is a famous interaction there. So if you don't believe in God, then if you're an atheist, then you could just go out and rob and kill and rape and pillage and as much as you want, right? There'd be nothing to stop you. And the answer there is, yeah, that's exactly right. And that's exactly what I do. I go out and rob and steal and pillage and rape just as much as I want to, which is not at all. Not at all. I don't want to do those things. I, I mean that's not, So it's this threat of heavenly retribution is not what is guiding my moral compass. Um, so, if that's true for me, then that's true for any number of people. Um, so, so again, the idea is, I, getting back to what I started out with, it's the what's right and wrong, what's good and evil is not out there for us to discover. It's for us to determine for ourselves and as a society, as yeah, as a society. And I think that needs to include not just the human race, but everything and everyone. And animals, plants. Um, I've always been fascinated by the Native American cultures that uh, seem to, from the little that I know of them, that seem to focus on nature, on Mother Earth, and the symbiotic relationships that they recognize that humans have with their environment, that modern man, seems to have forgotten, and that's why we're seeing things like this, changes in the climate and so on, and uh, garbage patches in the oceans, and the melting of the ice cap and all these things, because we're not operating in you know under the assumption that we're in a symbiotic relationship with our environment. It's we're messing up. Our behavior um, is, I think, these things that we are doing are, by any measure, immoral. These things, they are bads. They are wrong things to do. Um, Not by any uh, religious book or teaching, but simply based on this planet. I mean, so far, we're limited here, to uh, at least so far to this one planet and its one satellite that's there, the moon. We've managed to make it there, but we're not really going to do much with that for quite a while, it seems. Um, so this is it, and we need to make it work. You know, not all altruistic, not for everyone else, but for each one of us, right? In order for me to be as happy and healthy and live the life that I want to, I also need to ensure that the environment uh, is taken care of, that other people are their needs are seen to, and so on. Right? We can't do it alone. One of the worst and best things, I think, and many people might disagree about the best part of it there, but is that has happened recently is this coronavirus. I mean, it's made, I think, more people realize that how interconnected we are, how you can't solve the world's problems, or you can't if this planet is facing a disaster, a problem, you can't just think about your own little corner of it, your country or whatever, and take care of that and think that the problem is solved. Um, yeah, there was that saying going around, nobody's safe until we're all safe. Trying to increase, and improve the distribution of the vaccines around the world so that more people in the lower income countries could get their vaccines and so on. Um, to a large extent, that seems to have fallen on deaf ears in too many instances. We still have countries that have very low rates of vaccination, and other countries where uh, people are already talking about the second booster, so the fourth shot, the fourth vaccination in total. Um, there was a lot of uh, many opposing voices that were raised when countries like the United States and so on were talking about giving the booster shots when, as I just said, so many countries, especially lower income countries in the world, are still terribly exposed and with large numbers, large percentages of unvaccinated people. Um, yeah, you can't just solve it for yourself. You have to, there are at least are certain um, problems that have to be solved for everyone, or they're not solved for anyone. Um, so maybe I hope that this COVID, it's not as bad as it could have been. A lot of people recognize that. I mean, it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. And I feel for so many people. I have been particularly lucky because one, I'm in Japan. Japan's had good luck with keeping the virus under control. Even when it comes into the country, we've had spikes, but um, nothing like many other countries. Um, so that's been very lucky. I was able to get vaccinated, in good order. Very efficient system here. So I was lucky to. I feel that I was very lucky to be in Japan uh, for this COVID uh, pandemic that occurred. Um, but hopefully we're learning from this. Um, as I just spent a lot of time talking about, that it's a worldwide problem, that nobody's safe until we're all safe. Um, Maybe it's opened eyes in that regard. So it's opened eyes about the need for preparing for things like a pandemic and so on. Um, and not just a variation on the coronavirus, but who knows what else could what other kind of monster might rear its head. So these things I think are basically philosophical questions. And some people, as I said, fall back on religion for the answers, but it's not necessary. And you still come up with basically the same answers. Um, that you need to consider everyone your brother, and you need to help your brother, and you can't just like I said, clean up your little corner of the world and expect to be okay. We're too interdependent. um, I don't know if there ever was a time. I'm sure that there was a time when yes, some disaster happened. You just take care of your little group and you'd be okay. Maybe that was the case, but that era is long gone. So anyway, this was my that's a lot of rambling going on there because I didn't really know what I was going to talk about when I got on here. But that'll give you an idea of some of the things that, some of the ways that I think and I might carry on. And I like to look at philosophical questions and give my own response to those questions, and how other people view those same ideas, and you know not necessarily try to find an answer, although that would be nice. But I mean, but learning about the way other people view these questions and problems, and their view on life is very interesting and enlightening and helpful to all of us, I think. So maybe I can help a little bit in that regard, if I can get some participation in my broadcast. So anyway, look for me again in the future. I will strive to broadcast on somewhat of a regular basis once I get things going. But this is just a random little, I had a little free time and decided to do a stream for the first time in a long time. So my old followers, my old friends, thanks for watching and listening to me blather on. Might be able to get some games going. I do like those games, and I don't know if this my friends that used to play the games are still out there even. I've been away from Haps for too long, but I'm back, and we'll see how it all works. Anyway, so thanks for listening, and I'll be back.